Sorry, you can tell it's been a while since I've done this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Cherries Red Army watch along. We are back. It's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks since I've done one of these, quite clearly. But obviously, it's been 2 weeks since the last game. I was at that game, our Everton defeat, unfortunately. But we're at home. Hopefully, the crowd will be able to cheer us on. And fingers crossed, there's a new face that might just be able to get us our first win of the season. Hello to everyone that's joining me live. Only a few of you at the moment. That's fine. You know, the game's not on for another half an hour, so bear with me. But I hope everyone is having a good time. Please do say hello in the comments. Do put your names down. Say hi. Introduce yourself to everyone else. The point of these is, yes, obviously, there's me. I'm the guy on the camera, but I do want to have chats with all the Bournemouth supporters, and not even Bournemouth supporters, all the fans that appear on this, that appear in the chat on this channel. I'm here to talk to you lot, and that's why I do it. I do it because I want to talk to you, and I want to enjoy this time together. Obviously, I'd like to win, but certainly having good conversations about Bournemouth with fellow fans is why I'm here. Got a few that put their names in the chat. Hello, Daniel. Nice to see you. I hope you enjoyed your time coming over from America. It did look like it was a good one for you on Twitter. Hello, Mike. Has to be our day at some point. Absolutely. Hello, David from the other side of the world. Nice of you to join us. And Sean, hello to you as well. Hope you'll all be able to stick with me. And Ethan, hello to you as well. Love the updated profile picture. Are you at the game today, Ethan? If you are, let me know. But yeah, it's Wolves at home. We've got some new face, and we've got a new face in the starting lineup. We've also got a familiar face in the opposition dugout, which is what makes this such a loaded fixture for Iraola. Having said that, before we get to that, and before we get to other people's thoughts about O'Neill, and we can talk about him later, let's at least go over the lineup. Thank you again to Kirk for putting this one out for everyone to check against both sets of oppositions, both sets of players, rather. So, as per the big, as per the player in the picture, Alex Scott. Not only is he in the 18, he's in the 11. He's starting his first game for AFC Bournemouth, his first Premier League game, and it's against the team that almost signed him as well. Don't forget, Wolves was also one of the big teams that were one of the most linked teams with Alex Scott. And a lot of Wolves fans, from what I remember seeing of the discourse, were very pissed off with the Wolves hierarchy that they didn't get Alex Scott. So for him to start his first game against this lot, it's quite something. Nice to see you at the ground, Ethan. Thanks very much for tuning in regardless. Really appreciate you for checking us out. And hello to Ollie. Oh, wow. On the way to US. So you're in the air while you're watching this. Well, I appreciate that of all the crappy films that you could be watching, you're instead checking this out. You're instead checking me out for the first bit of this before you, I'm sure, tune into the game. So yes, lineup. Personally, I don't know what. Please everyone put their thoughts on this lineup in the comments. I love this lineup. I absolutely love this lineup. I really don't think I would make any changes to this unless Tyler Adams was fit. That's about the only way I would make changes to this. We're surely going to have Brooks playing on the right wing. We'll have Tavernier shifting over to the left wing. I think Tavernier, you've only got to look at his dribbling stats already, his take-ons. He's right at the top of the dribbling stats in the league, and he's only played like 4 games. In the league, in the other 14, because that's the stats thing I look at mostly. Brooksy coming in is great. I just want him to get close to Solanke. For those of you that saw the highlights or even watched the game of the Wales game when they beat Croatia 2-1, he got an assist for Dan James. But what you'll notice in that game was the fact that when the ball was just lofted up to Kiefer Moore, you had a bunch of players around Kiefer Moore to be able to receive the flick-ons. Moore didn't even win the first ball for the goal that Brooks assists, but he gets himself in a position that he's very, very close to Moore, so that when the ball drops towards him, he can play it first time. And one of our old players, of course, Harry Wilson, is on the end of it with a fantastic finish to score that goal. If you look at the back, we have our old captain, but certainly one of the most important players in our squad at the moment, Lloyd Kelly, back at left centre back. As much as I'm a huge fan of Senesi, he's been really poor at times this season. He's been worryingly poor, and I really hope that the crowd continues to get behind Kelly, because obviously he had a period where he was just sort of like, he was almost public enemy number one in the Bournemouth fan base for whatever reason. But to have him back in this game is massive. And obviously still got Cook. A lot of people, I'm sure, are going to be very pleased by the fact that Phil Billing is undoubtedly going to be the number 10. Like, there's no two ways about it. Now, of course, you could have it as a 4-3-3. You could have Cook sitting deeper and then Scott and Billing kind of being the two number 8s. If you remember, under Parker, he played a very standard 4-3-3 where it was Cook sitting deeper and you had Billing and Lerma playing as the two number 8s, with Lerma dropping a bit more often and Billing pushing forward more often. In this, I do kind of expect Iraola to stick with his 4-2-3-1. And have Billing as the main sort of number 10 support behind Solanke. And then when you look at the Wolves lineup, Sarr in goal, obviously. Doherty still coming in a right wing back. Aït-Nouri, who I quite like at left wing back. Kilman, I didn't realize, was the captain. Dawson, who is a very tough cookie, a good old fashioned centre back. Totti, I'm not familiar with. Gomez, I quite like from the game I saw against Man United, first game of the season. I quite liked him. Traore, I'm not as familiar with, and it's not the speed of lightning no end product Traore that he's moved off, and I can't remember where he is now. He's still in the Premier League, I believe. He went on a free. Fulham, I think. Was it Fulham? Picked him up on a free. I'd have to look at it. And then Hwang, who's in great form. Cunha, who's a handful, and Neto, who's one of the best players outside the Big Six. So there's still a lot of attacking verve there, and it is a 5-2-3 essentially. If I switch through to what SofaScore has got. Do have, well, they put it as a 3-4-3, but obviously Doherty and Aït-Nouri are very much wing backs. Let's see how much I can scroll in here to make sure that we bring up the lineup. There we go. So yeah, Cunha up front, Hwang, Hee-Chan Hwang on the left wing, Pedro Neto on the right wing, who obviously we've got to be very careful with. Kirkes has been questionable recently, so to see how Kirkes does against Neto is going to be interesting. Boubacar Traoré, João Gomez, as I said, I quite like him, and Aït-Nouri is a decent player on the left side. Matt Doherty, I want to see Tavernier just rinse him on that left-hand side. I want Tavernier to get the ball and absolutely rinse him. That's what I want. Craig Dawson in the middle, who Solanke is going to have to try and contend with. Craig Dawson's been pretty darn, been a rock for Wolves at times this season. So we will see how that goes. Let's bring up some of these comments. Daniel saying, I think it's one of our best squads this season. Yep, absolutely. I haven't even looked at the subs bench. I need to go back and look at that, actually. Agree, John, that's the most creative and technically gifted lineup. Absolutely. Neto would be the only change, as he's been extremely poor at the end of last season, got him worse this season. Yes, I think the issue that most people are having is definitely his punching. Because actually, if you look, here's the funny thing. An Athletic article got put up in the last few days of some of the most impressive stats of individual players so far this season, in terms of like most big chances missed, which is Haaland, and you've got even Ollie Watkins is right up there. Then like some best tacklers in the game. And actually Neto has got the best goals prevention of anyone in the league so far. But to be fair, that's also because he's been facing so many shots, which is the porousness of our midfield and defense at times, that he keeps getting so many shots fired at him that he's making a lot of saves quite easily. But a couple that I feel have been poor, but not been helped by his defense. It is that punching. That's the main thing that people are really frustrated about, is the punching. If he could just catch a few more balls, I reckon no one would have an issue with him. Because I don't think his saving has been... He's made a couple of mistakes, but I don't think it's particularly been dreadful. He just needs to start catching the ball and just preventing all that pressure building up on us over time. David, wonder whether Scott plays the 10 or we finally see Billing returns. I would be amazed if you've got Scott as the 10 and Billing as the 8. I just feel like you know what you've got from Billing in that position. Whereas with Scott, admittedly, it requires a lot of him, considering he's only recently come back to full training. But he's much more of the all-rounder. He's played in almost every position in midfield during his time at Bristol City. I think he even played as a wing-back once. I know he's played wide. He's played a bit deeper. He's played in the middle. He's played further forward. He's just got so much about his game. But to be honest, I've only got hearsay and stats for Scott for the most part. There's very little apart from YouTube highlight videos that I've actually seen of him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does in this game. Because if he just suddenly makes us click and just starts really taking us up the field like we need to with his dribbling, it could absolutely change the game for us. We do need to be mindful, though. Wolves will be incredibly defensive. They're playing with a back 5. I don't even think they have been playing with a back 5 a lot this season, necessarily. I think they have been playing more as a back 4, but they are just like, sit deep, wait for the opposition to lose the ball, which is us, which we have done a lot of, and then just pounce and go. You've only got to see like Neto's goal against Luton, which is just a basic counter-attack, long ball into the space. He beats his man and sticks it in the goal from nothing chance. He was just incredible. Yeah, that's certainly what we're hoping for, I would say, Daniel. And it was to Fulham. Good. I was right. Cherries on there. Do you think we're risking Scott because we're putting him straight in the lineup straight away? Yeah, it's definitely a risk. But I would say it's also one that is calculated in a way because Iraola, mind you, I don't know how many bad injuries Scott has had. And I feel like he wouldn't put him straight in the lineup if he didn't feel he could handle it. Because they've had 2 weeks of training. And Scott has been back in at least light training before the international break started. So he's had time to build himself up. They will have had a practice game or two in that time. So they'll have seen that being combative enough, he can handle it. And really, Iraola needs something to change. And he's had Cook Billing or Rothwell Billing or even Cook Christie as that double pivot for the entire season, and it's not worked. It's not really worked to what he wants to get out of that position. So I think he's probably seen something in Scott and gone, it's worth it that in this game where we've got we should be really pushing for a victory, that I go with the guy that can turn things around for me. Okay, yeah, no, to be fair, his kicking hasn't been great either. I would say that as long as his kicking is long, it's not as much of an issue. But I do agree with you. Sure, that's a very good point. But considering our sort of main backup, Radu, the thing he's most known for is messing up with the ball at his feet for Inter Milan, where he is basically had the entire blame of them not winning the season against, I think it was Milan that won it 2 years ago. So it was Napoli last year. I think it was 2 years ago. I think he was replacing Onana for a period, and he messed up with the ball at his feet and conceded a goal that essentially signed the title over to Milan. So he's just like the one thing he's most known for in Italy is messing up with the ball at his feet. So I'm not necessarily going to say he's going to be better than Neto. Wow, what is wrong with... There we go. This is being very slow at the moment. I clicked on that a few times. Bradley, predictions. Let's see, we've got 15 minutes to go. Yeah, go on. Let's start getting some predictions in. I'll talk about other stuff in the meantime. But come on, let's get some predictions in the chat. Drop them down. We've got 15 minutes to go, so it's a bit early, but let's at least start getting our predictions in. I'll tell you mine afterwards, once we've got a few more through, Bradley. Sure, my biggest concern is individual errors, as they've been increasing every game, and they're being wet, it's even easier to slip. Yeah, I agree. The Zabani one is very unfortunate, so I'm just going to take a drink. I can feel my voice going already. The Zabani error was very unfortunate because it's exactly what I want him to do, and he slips. And I don't blame him for that at all. But it is like, but I agree that individual errors has been a worry, and it's something that's worth looking into. It's certainly something that's worth. I would like to look at the stats of what we got in terms of individual errors leading to goals. I think we're probably, or shots at least. I think we're quite high on that. Or I wouldn't be surprised if we are. Scott has been training fully for 2 weeks. He'll be fine. Tyler had trained for less time, and this hamstring injury wasn't fixed yet, as it seems. Yeah, true. Although I believe that I don't think the Adams injury was in the game, or at least I don't believe it was. But then again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't know whether someone can tell me, can correct me on that. But he could easily have done it in training as well. I really don't know, but I get your point. And Scott is less of a risk than Adams, absolutely. But then Adams wasn't starting that game and has still got injured since. So yeah, we need to. I tell you what, that is here's one I'd like to. Calvin Phillips on loan in January. I think we could get him. I think we could get Calvin Phillips on loan in January because it's only half a season. It's only half a season, and if he plays well, he gets in the England team, and then he goes and Man City sell him for whatever they want for into Liverpool or whoever. I think we should try and get Calvin Phillips on loan in January. David, Iraola. Sorry, yeah. What's La? It's IA Iraola. Yep. At least I'm guessing that's Iraola Andoni. Maybe needs a result. He absolutely does. Definitely. Hello, Tyler. Up the Cherries. Do you think the pressure is on? And from reports that I've heard, no, which is good, because if you look at the games we played, the Everton one is the first game that you're going, this is where we expect you to get results. And admittedly, we played one of our worst games, so that's terrible. He's got these next few, and he's got at least a couple months, I would say, in terms of what I think the back room, I believe in him. Because where do you go if you sack him? Because you've gone the route of the principled manager that takes the team forward. If that fails, do you bring in another one of those, or you just go back to where you were? Because if that was the case, you might as well start with O'Neill, and it doesn't look good. So I feel like the higher-ups will give him a good amount of time. Now, the fans will turn soon, because you can't be happy with not winning in... Well, obviously, so far this season, we haven't won, but we didn't win the last 4 games of last season. We've gone a long time without any wins. So I think the pressure will start coming if we don't see at least some level of performance or results in these next 2 games. I really do think they will. Hello, Phoenix. Nice for you to join us. Hail, the game has got all the making to be absolutely barn burner. Looking forward to a barn burner. Thigh rubber? Absolutely. John, if we lose, do you think the fans will call for the manager's head tonight? Probably not tonight. Some will. I think I agree with saying Tyler saying he's under pressure. I think he's going to definitely be under pressure with the fans. I was at Everton, and that got toxic. And it's not like, okay, toxic seems like a strong word. The fans were taking the piss out of their own players and own team. When it gets to that point, you've got to start worrying, because the away fans, if they start turning, you know something's going bad. So yeah. Let's get some predictions in then. Tyler going for a 3-0, very confident. Daniel with a very conservative 0-0. You know what? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Wouldn't be the worst result. And it would mirror what Gary O'Neill did, obviously, in his first game for us. David's going with a 2-1 win. Bradley going for 3-1. David with a 2-1. Ethan with a 2-1. Sean with the Cherries Red Army famous 3-1. Yeah, a lot of positivity, which is great. I kind of think that if I was going to put my money on anything, it would be on a 1-1 draw. I think if I was going to put some money on this game, it'd be a 1-1 draw. But seeing Alex Scott come in, I'm a bit more positive now. And I think we'll edge it 2-1. I think we can just about edge this 2-1. And I'm really hoping Slanky scores, because I've got him in my FPL, so I really need him to start pulling some points out for me. Right, let's not worry about the predictions now. Let's make sure the lineup is scrolling along the bottom. You can't see my finger. There you go. Lineup scrolling along the bottom for you. So we are 9 minutes away from starting. Lovely of so many of you to join us. 22, which is a lovely number. Thank you very much for joining us. Some of you, I'm sure, will be leaving because some of you may be well at the ground. But do come in at halftime. Listen to me ramble about how well or badly that we're doing. Right, we've still got quite a few lot of comments. I'm loving the interaction. Thank you very much for keeping that going. Adam's injury was how he felt in recovery after him. Oh, right, okay. Interesting. Why have we had so many injury errors this season? I think that's in trying to bed into the new system. Gary O'Neill didn't worry too much around passing at the back. We did it a bit, particularly at the end of the season, when I feel he was trying to build in a more progressive ideas into the team when we lost all 4 games. But he really didn't care about passing around from the back early stages. It was just defense first. Let's not concede. If you're under trouble, hook it into row Z. So we weren't making mistakes at the back very much, and it was very sit-in. When you're really compact, when you really put 10 men behind the ball and make it as awkward as possible for your opposition to play through you, you're unlikely to have those individual errors. By being more progressive, by being more expansive, by putting your players further apart, by putting a lot more responsibility on the player on the ball, you're encouraging errors, particularly when they're not as comfortable with the new style. So, hopefully we'll see that drop off as things go forward. Haven't had my coffee. I'm staying away from coffee at the moment. I'm just trying to stay away from caffeine as much as I possibly can. I've been getting more palpitations recently. I think there's 3 more games. I mentioned it before, but I do think the higher ups aren't going to get rid of him within a month, even if the results would have to be really bad. They would have to be really bad, and I think then they would turn. The performances along with results would have to be terrible, and then I feel as though they might well act. But until the fans start baying for blood, I don't think he'll get moved on soon. Yeah, it wasn't great. I think in his first job, which was in Cyprus. Was it Cyprus or was it the Greek second division? It was in the Mediterranean somewhere. I can't remember where his first job was. But yeah, I believe they liked him and he did well in the cups, but wasn't winning in the league, which sounds oddly familiar. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Donald. And correct, I believe. David, he is at the game. David. Wayne, our Fulham fan, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to one and all. 3-1. Oh, right, nice. Habit is not in the squad. What's your thought? Irela doesn't like him. He doesn't like him. If we weren't forced to buy him, we wouldn't have bought him. Irela doesn't like him. He doesn't press. And until Traore is able to get the pressing game into how he operates on the pitch, he's not going to play. Did I say Rosie? I didn't say Rosie, did I? I said Rosette, surely. Phoenix is going with 3-1 as well. Good stuff. So, pardon me. So we have 5 minutes-ish until kickoff. Those of you that are going to stick around, thank you for doing so. I am just going to make sure I've got the game on my screen. A reminder to any that's watching, there will be a silent... Whoopsie. There will be a minute in Israel and Palestine, and in Gaza. Now, this is not my channel. Otherwise, I would be going into a thing about what's going on over there. But I won't be doing that because this is not my channel, and this is a channel of a group of us. I am one person as part of a larger collective of the Cherries Red Army group. So I will not be putting any kind of political views out there. I would just ask that everyone engage in the minute silence because it is horrible what is going on over there. Some recent atrocities that are being committed. So There will be a minute silence. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dave. Didn't realize you were a Yank. That's the only American accent I can do. Hello, Wing. Good afternoon. Come on, Cherries. A good result to reward the good, patient Cherries fans is coming for our team. With two key players in the middle of the park out till now. With two key players in the park out till now. We need. I'm assuming that means that we need it. I'm missing the word after there, maybe. A result coming. Yes. Absolutely. So the teams are out. Let me just remind myself of the subs bench. Radu, Rothwell, Christie, Watara, Smith, Cliver, Moore, Semenyo, and Senesi. Semenyo, a lot of people that were clamouring for. Now, I think that Brooks Tavernier is probably my preferred set of wingers for this game. But does anyone think Semenyo deserves a start? I certainly expect him to play some part in this game. I think he's got something different to basically all our other winger options. And from the sounds of things, he wasn't that great as a lone striker in the cup game against Stoke. But then again, Traore was taken off immediately at halftime. Was taken at halftime as well, so I don't think he really helped either. Tyler, we definitely got a goal in us. Jose Sarr hasn't kept one clean sheet. Have Wolves not kept a single clean sheet yet? Wow. Mr. Yeah. It ran out of characters, yeah. Fair enough. Now, one further caveat is that I am almost indefinitely going to be behind some of you in what I'm watching. A number of you will probably see a goal before I do. So I would request that you don't madly type goal in the chat when you see it. Please wait until I do. But I totally understand that you've got the thrill, you want to be involved, and obviously I'll be hopefully leaping about in joy when there is a goal. But the referee is about to blow the whistle for the minute silence, which I will also be paying respects for. So shortly we will have the minute silence for those lost in Israel and Palestine. So, should have. I've had my display name up for a while. Don't really need that. So, last couple on messages before we start. Sean, hello from Mexico. Absolutely. Come on, Boscombe. I think if Solanke, if not playing well, change him for more. Yeah, quite possibly. All right. Yeah. No problem. No need to say I'm sorry for that. You just didn't. You ran out of characters. You got a lot to say. So there is kickoff. We start with a long ball, which we've seen a lot of since Areola comes in, and does very much look like Billing is playing as the 10. He's the closest. He was the closest to Solanke there. And we are certainly starting in the Wolves half. That's a weird call from the ref. But Wolves have a throw. Massive game. Massive game. So fingers crossed we can start turning things on. Pardon me. Wolf down my lunch to make sure I was ready to come on here. Nice aggressive press, which I love to see. And we've won the ball back in their half. Brooks passing to Aarons, who gets tripped and wins a foul off Huang. I do expect this to be a pretty even game, if not Bournemouth having a lot more possession. But obviously, Wolves will, as they are doing now, with Bournemouth with the ball going back to Kelly and then Neto. Wolves still do have quite a high position. Not Cunha and Huang being a little bit higher up than Neto. But our Neto is just walking out the box with the ball and then plays it long. Lovely ball to Tavernier, who plays it first time to Kirkes, but can't quite keep it in. Shame, but that was better. Much better ball from Neto. Doherty is taking about a couple miles down the line for a throw-in. Don't know why the ref isn't pulling him back. He's gone from 5 yards behind the halfway line to 5 yards in front of the halfway line. It's pretty obvious that he's stealing a little bit too many yards, but never mind. Ooh, Scott trying to press Gomez there, just gets completely caught out, but never mind. He gets back in place. And now Pedro Neto on the ball on the right-hand side. Traore to Totti, Aitnouri. And we push them back to their half. Nice pressing from the team. Great work there from Lewis Cook. And Brooks wins the ball back, gives it to Scott, who's got a lot of space to run into. Tries a first-time ball to Tavernier, but it's intercepted well by Kilman. Definitely didn't need to play that ball, had other better options, but it's good to see him try the pass to go forward immediately. That's what we're missing. Missing a midfielder that will just take the ball, look forward, and just play it forward. Lloyd Kelly tries to crossfield pass and completely mucks it up. That's back to the Kelly that we don't want to see. He doesn't need to play that ball. I understand him trying to, but he's going to. He can't put it behind the winger that he's aiming for. Great interception from Aarons and puts through Solanke, who wins a throw off Dawson. And as I mentioned in the preview, Solanke is going to have to try and get the better of Dawson, which is going to be tough because, I mean, the guy completely shackled Haaland. But we still have the ball from our own throw-in, which is good because we don't do that enough. We're going backwards into our own half, but that's fine. Easy set of passes, and Kelly's got plenty of time on the ball here to bring it forward into the Wolves half. The Tavernier Kirkes partnerships looks good. I like it, and a lovely bit of play. Now Tavernier's still on the ball. He's taking it round, gives it to Brooks. Brooks shoots straight at the keeper. So much better. The fact that Tavernier and Kirkes could develop a partnership excites me so much because, my God, has Kirkes not been able to work with whoever has played on the left. And this was really nice set of one-touch passing. And in the end, Brooks takes it and he's at an awkward angle. He probably shouldn't shoot from there, but it's worth an attempt. A nice start, though. A really nice start. Kirkes tries to get ahead of Neto, doesn't do it, and is not sprinting. Kirkes sprint to get back into position. Neto, still Neto, off the bar. And we just about get away with a goal kick. Oh boy, that was special from Neto. David, that's how Kirkes has played. I don't. You might have missed it, but Kirkes has done that most of the season. He's not sprinting, and I do feel like because he's being encouraged to push forward so much, I feel like maybe Lewis Cook is instructed to be the guy that covers, but Kirkes dives in to try and intercept so often. That is how we conceded that late goal against Brentford. But he needs to stop doing that, and he needs to really keep putting that effort in. Nice bit of work from Solanke. Shifts the ball over to Aarons. Aarons is looking for the pass, can't find it, but comes inside, does a lovely turn, doesn't keep the ball, unfortunately. Solanke almost wins the ball back off Dawson, but is cleared long by Totti. Only gets to Cook, who heads it to Billing, who keeps a hold of the ball well up until he's tackled by Traore. Some good pressing, winning the ball relatively high, pretty frequently, which is lovely to see. Good pressing from Billing there, which you know we're going to get. Yeah, I agree. But again, I don't think that is a. I don't think that's an injury. I think there's two things for that. Either he just doesn't put the effort in enough anyway, which is bad. The other thing is that he's instructed to not necessarily sprint back every time, because if he's always going to sprint, he's not going to have the energy to get up and down the pitch all game, every game, which is, unless he gets injured, is what he's going to need to do because he's our only left back. So I think maybe Iraola has said, look, if you're going to dive in like that, fine. Lewis Cook, you need to be deep and cover for him every time Kirkes loses out in those. I need you to be the guy that covers him at left back. And then Kirkes can jog back. And in the case when it looked like he needed to kick into action, he then started to sprint right at the end, but then didn't get in the way of Neto. And Neto then took a really good shot and almost scored. But it is a risk. So we'll see. That's my thought process on it anyway. I have a feeling it may well be an Iraola instruction to not sprint every time, but it is something that you don't want to see as a fan. You'd rather he put 100% effort into sprinting back every time. Kirkes loses that again, this time to Doherty from a long ball, but he gets back into position there, and then Billing wins the ball back from a loose pass. Solanke goes to Brooks. It's nice to see Scott where he is. There you go. Nice pass to Scott in acres of room in the middle of the pitch. He wants to get it onto his right foot, so he goes into a bit of trouble, but he gets it out to Aarons, who puts in the cross, but it's not a very good one and is cleared pretty easily. But the clearance makes its way to Zabani, who gets it to Kelly, who's looking for a ball out wide, and Tavernier is there. And Tavernier takes it past two players, almost takes it past the third, but keeps the ball. Needs to pass it, which he does. Kirkes puts in the cross. Lovely ball. Oh, okay. That wasn't as close as it looked on the screen, but it was a decent ball. Needed another Dawson shepherding Solanke well there. Needed another player to get involved. Nice tackle from Cook, and it's a goal kick. But another more great pressing from Cook. Nice to see a Wolves fan in, or at least maybe someone that's anti-Bournemouth. You're all welcome here. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button while you're here. Let me just get the team lineups banner going again, just for those of you that have forgotten. But please do, all of the here and enjoying this, please do hit the like button. It does help. We're every interaction is positive for the channel. Nice tackle from Kirkes. That's got to be a Bournemouth throw. Yeah, well done. That just pings off, just clips off Neto, and we win that throw. Some good pressing and work from Solanke. Solanke to Billing. The pass from Billing is meant for Tavernier, but it goes into the way in Solanke. But we win the ball back. Not a good tackle from Traore. Referee plays advantage. Tavernier on the ball. Plays the ball to Billing. Good first touch, takes it back to Tavernier. Tavernier still on the ball. looking for an option and finds it in Kirkes. Scott still trying to find those little pockets, but he's not getting it at the moment. He needs to keep going and looking for those. Hello, John. Nice of you to join us again from across the pond. Okay, thank you for the like. Thanks for. Hey, you could well. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Neto. Speaking of counters, Wolves are up. No, they're not anymore. Oh, but that's a terrible mistake from Aarons. Now, ball played inside. Lovely defending from Zabani. I think that was Lewis Cook with the error at the pass at the back there. It was completely unnecessary. Lovely interception from Billing, doesn't fall to Brooks. Just silly little individual errors. Thankfully, Zabani does a really good job of blocking that. I'm at 11:06 on the clock, by the way, for those of you that are wondering. I do need to try and get a clock on this display at some point. I keep forgetting to do that. I'll have to look into it this week. Wolves have passed it into the Bournemouth half. Doherty on the ball, looking for a ball over the top, but can't find it, so he passes it backwards. Traore on the ball. Totti plays it forward, but doesn't find the man, and we almost get it to Slanky, but not quite. Kilman coming out from the back with it to Doherty. Being passed around the back a little bit now by Wolves. Kilman still on the ball. Plays along over the top to Neto. Kelly is on him. Decent first-time ball, but it avoids everyone and is just about kept in by Aït-Nouri. But unfortunately, he can't stop it from going for a throw. Yeah, that's a good ball. Hwang's just not quite there to intercept that cross, but Bournemouth have a throw in there right in the corner on the right-hand side. Billing wins the flick onto Solanke, who can't outpower Dawson, who makes it past Billing and Scott. Does very well there. Yeah, Solanke's going to find it very tough to get around Dawson. Ball crossed in by Aït-Nouri, I think that was, goes for a throw. He takes it quickly to Hwang. Traore, 30 yards out, goes for the shot, and it's miles wide. But it takes a deflection. So we have a corner, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a good header away from goal for Zabani, but it is a corner. This is the worry. The ball's almost out of the quadrant, but it's not. Neto puts the ball in. It's over everyone, and Billing heads it away when he could have let it go for a goal kick. But whatever, that's fine. It's a throw-in. Now they need to be switched on because there's no Bournemouth players around the Wolves ones now. The throw's taken quickly. Solanke's the closest to Aït-Nouri. Ball's played back to Traore and back to Dawson, who lobs the ball in, and it's won by Doherty, but Neto claims it. Our Neto claims it. Quick throw out to Cook, and this could be a counter-attack opportunity if the right ball is played here. But Cook holds onto it too long, and it goes back to Aarons, which then goes back to Zabani, back to Neto. Shame. Definitely could have pushed forward there. To Kelly. Being pressed, Wolves are high up to try and deal with us. Clipped ball from Kelly, goes over Tavernier, goes to Kilman, and back to Jose Sarr. Shame. Definitely had a chance to produce a counter, but I feel Cook was maybe a little bit too passive there, looking for the perfect opportunity, which wasn't coming. But thankfully, Jose Sarr just whacks it straight out. Bournemouth have the ball at the back. Yeah, so Wolves are pressing in these moments, forcing us to play it longer, which isn't working at the moment. But we do win the ball back straight away. We've got a throw immediately. taken quickly by Brooks into Billing. Just awkward bounce, and it just smashes up onto his knee, and he hits it straight to Jose Sarr. Another long ball in, and we've got Cunha, who's got the better of Kelly at the moment. Kelly dives in, doesn't quite get it, but thankfully, Scott gets taken out by Cunha on the edge of the box. It wasn't Cunha that Kelly dealt with. It must have been Hwang. Yeah, it was Hwang. Sorry. I think that was a little bit of a worry there. The fact that it was far too easy with one long ball completely beat us, and Kelly does what he does a lot. He kind of stops sprinting to get himself into the right position. He slows down too early, and then he has to try and get back into the place to make the block. And we got lucky there because a better ball from Hwang, that's a goal with no issue. Nice ball from Neto to break the press. Scott's on the ball, looking for the pass. Plays it to Billing. Lovely first touch. And now Brooks on the right, one-on-one with Totti. But he's got overlaps. Gets it to Billing. Billing in the box, looking for the ball. Yes! Get in! It's Tavernier! Get in there! Come on! Massive goal. It's Tavernier against Wolves again. Really nice bit of play. That is finally the simple ball that gets them, breaks the press. Or was it Solanke? Because if it was Solanke, I love it. I have a feeling I have Tavernier looked like the one that was going away with it, but I need to see the replay now. Because if it's Solanke, hell yeah, that's my FPL team with another 6 points. If it is Solanke, my first thought was Tavernier. No, it's Solanke. Yes! Get in there. Billing with the assist. That's why we want him up there. I don't know what I'm talking about, me saying he should play deeper. Oh, it's a classic Solanke flick as well. He loves that flick. He loves that flick. I thought it was Tavernier at first, but it's not. It was Solanke. Huge goal. Huge goal. I'm guessing you were being kind, Wing, and not putting goal before it came up, which I appreciate. Thank you very much, my good man. Daniel with a yes. Come on. Full on getting in the cherries there from Anti-Skeptic. Solanke from Daniel. Solanke, David. Sorry, Elicade. It's not going to be the 1-0. And Wing, who said he does not know how to kid other teams out? I mean, Dom and Phil played out of position, but now they can even more aware. I'll read that fully in a second. And again, Tavernier further forward again on the left-hand side. Alex Scott on the ball, looking for the ball in, but it gets blocked well. And now it's counter-attack. Neto on the ball and blocked lovely by Cook. And then Billing wins it back and gets a foul. Wonderful stuff. Oh, no, the referee doesn't give it. I think he just thought Billing was selling it there. And then Brooks takes mate whoever that is down and gives a foul. I understand far too many players do that. They see what they think is a foul and an injustice, so they just then commit another foul just to point out that the ref should have given a different foul. It's just stupid. It's a silly tackle from Brooks. He's lucky he didn't get a yellow. Very quickly taken, so much so that the cameras got caught out, but Neto runs it out of play and it's a goal kick. Sorry, let me read that coming from Wing again. Who said he does not know to kid other teams there? I mean, Dom and Phil played out of position, but now they're even more aware what he needs to go back the cam position. Oh, you talking about Phil being played out of position? Yeah, I mean, I would guess so. Yeah. I'm not sure that's about kidding opposition, though, to be fair. That goal came from Alex Scott against the ball. Yes, so the important bit of that, Bradley, absolutely right, is the pass from Neto. Because it took 4 players out of Wolves. Wolves had pressed high, completely took 4 players out of the game for Wolves, and we had all the space for Scott to push forward, and that's what I wanted to see from Billing when he picked up those positions. But Alex Scott is taking it and doing that, and Cook's starting to do it as well right here. I can see. Wing, I want to watch the Cherries teams over the last few seasons since Eddie left. That's right. Absolutely, yeah, totally agree with you. Yep, much better, David. Yeah, massively important. And Billing for Solanke. Absolutely. And Billing I haven't watched the last 2 minutes of the game, but lovely work there from Billing and Brooks and Solanke. Still with Billing, holding off his man. Wonderful work. Now, Cook on the ball, plays it simple, gets it back from Aarons, plays it back to Aarons. Nice and simple. And now we can work our way into the game a bit more. But having said that, please be aware, guys, in every game that we have scored, bar Brentford, we've scored first. And we haven't won a game yet. Oh, lovely ball. Ah, damn it. Scott trying to get into Tavernier. Lovely ball there. Tavernier thinks he's going to just have the ball whacked against him by Kilman, but Kilman does very well to keep hold of the ball. They played around the back a bit, but a poor pass from Kilman, and Aarons wins it back, plays it through to Solanke. First touch isn't good enough, and then he takes out Dawson. Shame, but this looks so much better. This is it. This is much better. Admittedly, this is against a Wolves team that are going to be very defensive, but they have pressed us at times, and we have worked our way through that press really effectively. So much better. And I get that. Okay, that works when you're really deep because you just pack the area and prevent them from doing anything. It's why you got that result against Man City. I mean, scored 2 goals with one shot on target is very impressive. But it means that when you're trying to press, you struggle for numbers higher up the pitch, particularly in the middle, because you've got that 2-man midfield that cannot cover the area that it needs to, especially in a press. Admittedly, we play with a double pivot as well, which should match up with your 2, but it's Neto's so good. That was such good skill from Neto. But yeah, we scored because you pressed high and you didn't initiate the press well enough, and we passed straight through you. And that will be a concern for Gary O'Neill, I'm sure. Not a great clearance there from Cook. Balls to Gomez, to Traore. And now we have it with Aït-Nouri to Hwang. Back to Aït-Nouri, who is tackled brilliantly by Billing. Brooks plays it to Solanke, who keeps the ball but gets caught nicely. So that tackle from Billing is about 25 yards out. That's the position I want him to be making those tackles in when he's in the number 8 position. But I suppose when he's coming from the 10, it means we sort of overwhelm the numbers even more. By him being deeper, we are massively going to absolutely dominate that midfield battle, which is what we should have been doing anyway. When Christie was playing in the 10, he would drop deeper and we were able to control the midfield better. We haven't done that all season. And I do think that Christie tries to play too high up the pitch when he's in that 10 role, whereas Billing just wants to be everywhere. Long ball up from Aarons to Solanke, who wins a throw off Dawson. I mean, I agree that, Bradley, but you have to consider the opposition as well. And you have to consider the formation that Wolves are playing, and the position that it's in. Because it's not like Billing or Scott or Cook or Rothwell can't do that role, because they can. Rothwell is a very good dribbler on the ball. Cook is a pretty darn good dribbler on the ball, as is Billing. But Scott at the moment, because of the way that because we're playing against Wolves, not Liverpool or Arsenal, we're finding a lot more space in the middle of the park. And we're playing a Gary O'Neill team as opposed to a Arteta team. But yeah, lovely little. And Scott has so much quality on the ball as well. I'm not going to discount the fact that Scott is really good. Lovely bit of pressing there from Billing. Wins the ball, but doesn't quite keep hold of it. Tavernier needs to drop a bit deeper to keep an eye on Doherty. But yeah, nice little foul. No issues at all. Lovely ball up to Aït-Nouri. Cunha plays very deep, very Solanke-esque, then smashes the ball out of play, which I love to see. Very poor pass from Cunha, sends the ball straight out of play. I quite like Cunha, but I can see why a lot of Wolves fans probably would just like an out-and-out striker there instead. Cunha hasn't got exactly many goals at the moment either. Long throw intercepted, but Kirkes gets to a ball first, and Gomez chops him down. He might be a little bit lucky to get away with not getting a yellow card on that one. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Definitely not a yellow card tackle. Definitely not a yellow card tackle. But it's a foul. That's it. It's just a foul. I see there's a Barney playing it nice and simple as well, not trying to be silly, not looking to make the mistakes that he did against Everton. Which, admittedly, like I said before the game, I don't blame him for at all. It's what I want to see him do. But I think there was definitely I can't remember who it was mentioning that the ground was obviously with the rain recently more likely to slip. So let's not mess around with the ball too much. Not that they don't water every pitch very heavily before every game, but yeah. No, can't see it. Oh, that was it, Sean. That was it. Yeah, Sean was talking about individual errors. Lovely win of the header there. And Solanke keeping hold of the ball from Traore. Gets it back to Kelly. Plays the first time to Neto. Nice and easy. Keep the ball. Don't mess about with it. And then one pass into Cook because the midfield doesn't know when to press properly at the moment. Scott gets a little bit lucky, but Cook picks up the scraps and pushes forward. And he keeps going. He's almost. Oh, it falls to Solanke. Solanke trying to keep hold of the ball. Has still got it. Takes the shot. Gets blocked. He had about 4 men around him there by the end of it, but he still managed to pull the shot off. Second ball on the pitch. But referee keeps playing on. Lovely ball in from Kirkes. Oh, no, it's a bit too close to the keeper. But I'm glad to see Kirkes in that position, actually making crosses now. Far too often in this early period of the season, Kirkes has not been crossing enough. He hasn't been getting into positions to cross. That's what we need to see from him. We need him and Aarons getting forward and providing the crosses. I have lost connection. Come on, don't mess about with me. Right, there we go. 27:50 on the clock for those of you that are just wondering where I am at the moment. Wolves passing the ball around the back. Bournemouth putting in a decent press. Brooks doesn't follow his man though. Gives time for Ignori to find Neto. He's pushing forward. He's one-on-one with Kelly at the moment. He keeps going. No one's pressing. Lays it off to Cunha, who pulls it back. Oh, what a tackle from Billing! What a tackle from Billing! That's a goal-saving challenge. Absolutely. So there's Brooks doesn't follow Nuri there. He completely he doesn't put the press in properly, and then Cunha it ends up with Neto in a really good position to shoot. He doesn't. He plays a really nice ball to Cunha. Cunha makes the right pass and plays it back to Neto, but it slides in there from Billing to prevent that. It's a fantastic tackle. Yeah, it's like a basketball game. It is at times. There it really is. It's not very Wolves from last year, or not very Wolves under O'Neill. I don't think it's certainly not very Bournemouth from last year. Yeah, interesting attempt at a set piece there from Wolves, but it really doesn't pan out, and Kelly shepherds it out for a goal kick. Yeah, poor cross gets flicked on, but no one's at the back post, and Kelly shepherds it out. So nicely done. Nice cross ball from Zabani over to Kirkes. He's got a bit of space to play forward. Scott on the ball. Tries to nutmeg Traore, but comes off him, goes for a throw. Yeah, Scott's looked good. Scott's been really useful to help us with progression. It's not like another player couldn't have done it, but he's got that quality, and it's allowed Billing to play in the 10, which are so many Bournemouth fans want to see. And it's worked out already. Billing's already got an assist. At halftime, I'll obviously take a quick break just to get myself some more water, take a toilet break. Um, but we'll also have a look and see what the other scores of the other games are doing as well, which I'm not going to look at for the moment. Lovely block there. Solanke's still got it. Kind of tries to be a bit fancy and doesn't work. Definitely not a foul. Oh, I think that's a bit generous there. Wolves get the foul. Kelly pressing Doherty. I think Doherty slips more so than Neto than Kelly puts pressure on him, but he goes over and it's a foul. Both sets of attackers are finding it really easy to pick up pockets of space between the defence and midfield. Wolves aren't defending our attackers very well, and our attackers aren't defending the Wolves team very well. Um, Getting some good interceptions in and some nice pressing. That's really silly from Kirkes. He doesn't need to play that pass. He gives the ball away far too easily. Um, but I would say that our press is looking very positive. Whilst when Wolves get into our half, I'm getting a bit worried. But when Wolves are still in their half and they're still trying to build up, I feel we've really got a decent chance of winning the ball off them and getting a goal on getting and picking them off. Um, oh, great work there from Zabani. We get a little bit unlucky there in the end, but that's worried about the counter now. Great ball forward for Neto. Lovely set of defending from Kelly and Kirkes. Doherty on the ball, plays it back to Neto. It was one-on-one with Kirkes, looking to curl it, goes miles wide. We've definitely got a chance to get a second goal here before half time. Definitely, there definitely is a shout here, but at the same time, Wolves could definitely score before then. Um, I do see that. So something I mentioned before the game is that what you saw from Brooks in against for Wales is that Brooks is able to play very close to Kiefer Moore. He comes inside and starts very central, particularly from long kicks. Um, for Bournemouth, all our wide players stay wide. Their natural state is incredibly wide. I'll come back to that point in a second. We've got a nice move developing here. Scott's pushing forward. He's looking for Kirkes. He finds Kirkes. Kirkes on the left, plays the ball in first time. It goes to Brooks. He flicks it on. Solanke tries to shoot. He swivels and it goes up. Doesn't go sideways at all. Um, um, oh, that's not very good from Zabani. That's really silly, and he gets a yellow card for it. That's really silly from Zabani. He keeps just pulling Cunha. He's not. I don't know whether just pace wise he can't match him, which seems a bit odd, but he loses out physically, then just pulls him down. Really silly. It's nailed on yellow card. So the point I was coming to is for Wales, Brooks can play very central from starting in starting positions. He comes very close to Moore. They play very pack in the middle to help with long balls. For Bournemouth, he plays very wide, as does Tavernier. They start very wide. So what Bournemouth are doing at the moment, it seems, is pushing Tavernier, Solanke, and Brooks high up, really high up. Even when we've got the ball in our own box, they play high. And Billing starts high with them. So it creates this void in the middle of the park where our defenders are quite deep and they're being pressed to a middling degree, and it means our attackers are also very high. So there's this massive area of the pitch where there's almost no one there apart from maybe the odd Wolves midfielder. So Billing is sort of just dropping into that position, and he's the only link man at the moment that Bournemouth are using to get from defence to attack. Occasionally, Scott or Cook is able to pick the ball up, but if the Wolves' central midfield partnership of Gomez and Traore are pushing up to deal with Cook and Scott, it means that Billing is pulling a centre back out of that position. and is able to hopefully from a mid-range pass pick the ball up with one man on him in a bit of space. The difficulty is that if he doesn't keep hold of the ball, he's going to lose it instantly because there's no other Bournemouth player around him, which is the issue that I've got at the moment. There's far too much individual responsibility on a bunch of the players, particularly in the middle of the park. Billing is able to do that, and he's shown that he can do it. But if it doesn't work, and he's not going to do it 100% of the time, he sometimes needs players to get to him quicker, which sometimes happens, but is not happening a lot when we're playing out from the back, from very deep positions, from the goalkeeper in particular. So, yeah, we'll see we'll see what happens with that. But it's that seems to be very clearly like Billing is the central hub of our attacks from deep, without a doubt. Though Scott is helping a lot with that as well. Lovely 1-2 there between Scott and Kirkes. Kirkes gets very lucky there. Keeps taking too many touches, Kirkes. Wing. Come on, Cherries. We pressed the ball so well, but we need a second before half time to give Andy needs to regroup and tighten up the second half. Yeah, that would be useful. Yes, it absolutely did, David. Absolutely loved that. Hello, AFC Bournemouth Germany. Nice of you to join us. It was a well played goal. Did really enjoy it. Bournemouth have a free kick. Tavernier over it, loops it in. Really good ball, flicked over and out by Dawson for a corner. That was a lovely ball, much better. And I hope he can do that for this corner. Can already feel my voice going. It's not good. I haven't talked like this for hours on end. I don't generally do that. Only when I'm in front of a camera. Can I not stop talking? Mine at the moment is at 37:30. That's where my clock is right now. 1-2. Tavernier plays the ball in. It's whacked clear by Dawson, unsurprisingly. Nice header from Brooks through to Tavernier, who gets it past one, but can't get it past the second, and we have a throw. I stick to water. But I appreciate the thought. Solanke loses footing, can't keep hold of the ball. Header from Cook. Scott intercepts. Headed by Gomez. Cook can't intercept it from Cunha. Cunha strides out well. Cook may take a yellow card, but he doesn't. But Tavernier does concede a corner. That's Tavernier or Kelly? One or the other. I think it was Kelly, actually, now that I think about it. Concedes a corner. It's the corners it's the set pieces that we're always worried about at the moment as Bournemouth fans. We've already conceded 5 goals from set pieces this season, more than any other team in the league. Neto fires it in. Hit towards the back post. Well defended from Billing. Very well defended. Interesting that Billing is the one tasked with. Actually, I'm not sure whether Billing is man to man with. No, he's not man to man with Dawson. I don't know who's meant to be man to man. Oh, it's Kelly there. Sorry. Kelly, my mistake. I was looking at Billing and it's not. That should have been a goal kick, I think. But Kelly, sorry, is obviously tasked with dealing with Dawson. That makes a lot of sense. But he's not tight to him. He's allowing him to get a run. It's not a good idea. And now there's 6 men in between him and Dawson. Ball in, headed out. Tavernier's got time, but he doesn't take it. It's headed out. Goes to Nori. Goes to Neto. One-on-one with Aarons. Probably wants it on his left foot. Can't get there. Traore. Did he nutmeg Brooks there by some miracle? Traore. Come on, someone press him, please. There we go. Out to Dawson. Over to Doherty. It's in the half space on the right-hand side. Now it's Neto up against. Oh, was it not Neto on the left before? He's scampered over very quickly there. Totti through to Huang. A little bit lucky there. It might have been Huang on the left there. I was misnaming. Totti on the ball still. Nuri just about keeps it in from a simple pass. Totti cuts back out, passes it to Nuri. And Hwang misplaces the pass. And Bournemouth have a throw 25 yards out. Quickly to Scott. Brooks nutmegs Scott to Brooks. Oh, through to Billing. And Billing doesn't stretch for it. Dawson deals with it well. And somehow that's a throw rather than a corner. I just feel as though if Billing had really gone all out for that, he would have won. He would have kept hold of the ball there. But Aarons goes for the nutmeg, gets it, but gives the ball away. And now Cunha is pushing forward. Like, guys, take him out at the very least. Get the yellow if you have to. Neto one-on-one with Kirkes, but Tavernier is back to support. Neto looks for the ball over the top. Well defended by Zabani deals relatively well with Cunha there, and Neto gathers that. Neto is absolutely furious at Aarons, I think. For trying to do too much on the ball. Was it Aarons that he's shouting at? Might have been. He was furious at someone. Cunha has got a yellow card. Oh, Cunha making the yellow card gesture. Got himself a yellow card. What an idiot. I love that. It's just like, not only have refs told players repeatedly, you will get a yellow card if you do this. And they've kept doing it. And they've kept getting yellow cards. And I'm fairly certain a Bournemouth player has been given a yellow card for that so far as well. But I love that. It tends to be. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but whilst there are others that do it, it tends to seemingly be South Americans and Iberians, like Spain, Portuguese, and the South Americans. They're the ones that are most likely to do that, I feel. And they're the ones that get it. I forgot what Cunha's country is. I'm assuming it's maybe Colombian? Oh, whoopsie. Traore into the box. Hwang, Cunha rather. And Billing picks up the pieces. He's Brazilian. Oh, he's Brazilian? Wow. No, allocate. You maybe haven't been watching games. Plenty of players in the Premier League have got yellow cards for doing that. It's not Wolves players. I understand your bias to your team, but it is not a Wolves issue. That is a Premier League player idiot issue. I did not. Yeah, I didn't know he was Brazilian. I got the South American right, but yeah. If you look at the South American leagues, the amount of red and yellow cards is probably twice the amount of. I think so. I don't pay attention to the South American leagues, but wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Oh, pardon me. Who is that down? Dawson is down. I don't know why. Great point, David. This is the issue. Refs don't keep it going a whole season. As long as they keep doing it, even if it's against a Bournemouth player, I won't care as long as they always do it. Because then players will stop. As long as you keep it up the entire season in every game, players won't do it anymore. Allocate. I would love you to have a look and see how long it's been since we had a penalty. And also look at the penalties that have been given against us in the last season and a bit. To be fair, you have been massively screwed over. Some of the decisions that have gone against Wolves this season are bonkers. Absolutely ridiculous. But I do feel that Gary O'Neill is cursed. It would be weirdly poetic if Bournemouth get a penalty in this game. Because Bournemouth never got a penalty again while Gary O'Neill was in charge, and we still haven't since we returned to the Premier League. But Gary Neal still hasn't got a penalty for Wolves, and some of the ones that you've turned down are ridiculous. Or given against you. My God, the Luton penalty. I mean, it did well for me because I had Carlton Morris in my fantasy team, but yeah, that game against Luton, my God, the penalty was bonkers. But that's the rules. That's not necessarily the ref. I think the ref put the rules through correctly, but I think the rules are ridiculous. Gary Neal has not had a penalty as a manager yet. I would love to see the stats on how long a manager has gone without his first penalty. Gary Neal has gone over 400 odd days before getting a penalty as a manager. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. He's just cursed. He's just cursed. That's the only possible scenario. 46 minutes a bit on the clock. 4 minutes of added time have been put up. Um, um, yeah, Kirko's getting a yellow card, I think. Yeah, that's two of our back four on yellow cards now. This is not clever from Kirkes. Doherty just pushes the ball past him, and Kirkes just runs into him. Not Kirkes has got so much growing to do in defending. Oh, and the United game, great point allocate. That United game was how you didn't get a penalty for that. I have no idea. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, Big Six good. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Lily, welcome. How's Alex Scott doing? Really nice, really good stuff from. He's just played another lovely ball. That's got to be a yellow card for Kilman. Thank you. Another really nice ball there from Alex Scott, playing the ball through to Tavernier, who's just got absolutely steamrolled by Kilman with a sliding challenge. Has got himself a yellow card. Scott has done what I think a lot of Bournemouth players want him to do. What a lot of Bournemouth fans have wanted players like Rothwell, Billy, and Cook to do. Pick the ball up from deep, turn and run with it. And at times, he's not necessarily played the right ball, but he's always looking forward. He's always trying to play the ball forward. And Scott was vital in our goal. He pulled himself into space, received a pass from Neto at the back, turned, ran, played it to Billing. I think a couple 1-2s. Billing ends up in space and passes it through to Swanky, who scores. Brooks, ball in, miles over everyone. We only had two players in the box. Whatever. My team from Germany. What is your team from Germany? Has already had 8 penalties since the beginning of the season. Bournemouth haven't won in ages. 8 penalties in 14 games, 13 games. If that, preliminary. Oh, nice press. Cook wins the ball back on the wide, looking for the ball in over everyone. That's a terrible ball. It's the decision making. It's not just that he fouls; it's that he dives in. He just needs to stop diving in. He tries to intercept the ball ahead of the opponent all the time. You can't do that in this league. You will get destroyed for it. You only need to look at the Brentford game, in which he lost that goal right at the end because he tries to intercept something when he's making a terrible decision. That's half time. And that was the one game that we should have won this season. It would have been very unjust, but we should have won that game 2-1. But Kirkers makes a mistake. Hanover. I don't know how they're doing at the moment, but if they've got 8 penalties, they must be at least mid-table. So Wolves FC, real Wolves. I can't lie, we're so bad. I wouldn't say they've been terrible, but I don't think Bournemouth have been the better side. Bournemouth's press has been so much more effective than Wolves' have. Wolves definitely needs to work on whatever their pressing plan is. It's not flipping working. So it's lovely to be able to put that on the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time we're leading at halftime this season. Is that right? I'm not trusting my memory now. I feel like that's the first game that we've led at halftime this season. The only games that we've scored, the games that we scored first in, was against Liverpool, and we were losing by half time. Against Brighton, it was 1-1 at half time. Against Brentford, it was 1-1 at half time. West Ham, we came from behind. Yeah. First time this season, we are up at half time. Yes. Right. So I need to refill my drink, and I'm going to take a refreshment break and a loo break. So it is time for us to have a brief break. So I'm just going to put a little bit of music on. A screen up. Where is that blinking picture? There it is. Right. I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. I have been on mute this whole time. This is going to be a fun watch back. There's the problem. I've been checking out the comments too much. I thought I turned that off. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So, hello again. Welcome back. Can we cut those last couple of minutes? Afternoon all. Not dual screening today. Just listening on Solent. Sounded all right, but feisty towards the end of half. Hope we just let them focus for us and not join in. Yep. Absolutely. Me too. I totally agree. Right, let's keep moving on. Needs to close down Neto as he's been dangerous and their only real threat. Yep, I agree. There have been there's definitely been moments where I think there's been a little nice bit of interplay that has resulted in Cunha being on the ball a little bit too easily in the middle of the park as well. But for the most part, yeah, I think I would agree that Neto is definitely the one to keep an eye on. Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. Right, so yes, thank you very much for everyone that's still joining us. 30 of you at the moment. Thank you very much. If you are enjoying this, please do leave a like down in the please do leave a like for us. It does just help. We're on still quite a small channel, so every interaction, every like, every comment really does help. And if you do want to keep in touch with some more with a second opinion on the Cherries, then do hit subscribe because it really does help. We're looking forward to hopefully hitting 2K before Christmas. 2K before Christmas would be great, but certainly by the end of the season, regardless. Daniel, midfield looking better today with a bit more balance. I do think that it does help that Wolves have allowed us a lot of time in the middle of the park at the moment. There's no doubt that they haven't been stopping us from doing what we want in the midfield as much as I'm sure they would like to. But I do think that Scott has been getting some good time. Some good time in a decent bit of space, but then when it's been tight, he's also been able to work around it a lot. I think Lewis Cook has been really good as well. I think he's been getting very aggressive, but also when opportunities arise, he's just bombed forward, which I like to see. I think Brooks has been solid whilst not being exemplary. Billing has been great. He's been vital for us. Solanke's working really hard, but Dawson is getting the better of him at times. I think there's been a lot of good stuff coming from the team so far, without a doubt. Right, let's bring up the the other games that are going on at the moment. Whoopsie, get rid of that. Just want to double check that game will be on again shortly. So let's just have a look. Liverpool obviously beat Everton in the end. Ashley Young got sent off. The player that Ouattara should have done his best to make sure got sent off in the game that we played against them. Brentford are 1-0 up with, I want to say Visser. It's Visser and Mbuemo combining. I can't remember who scored and who didn't when I looked at it. Bournemouth beating Wolves 1-0. Nottingham Forest Luton 0-0. Man City beating Brighton 2-0. You'll never guess who scored. It's Haaland and Alvarez. And Newcastle winning 3-0. I had 4-0 in this game. So it's heading. I really wish I put a bit of money on that. Newcastle over 3.5, winning to 0 would have been a nice shout there. With who's got the goals? I know it's Murphy, Gordon, and Longstaff. In fact, 2 strikes very close to half time there with Gordon and Longstaff. So yes, my fantasy team is looking quite nice at the moment. With everyone that I've got playing at the moment, including in the Liverpool game, got points. So very pleased with that. Right, the game should be back up soon. Let's see any more comments. There wasn't. Don't worry, Wing. This is a family channel. Apart from the occasional swear word when we score. So let's just not talk about that. At least I think I did. Anyway, expect Scott to come off. Yeah, definitely. Spells. Absolutely agree. He'll probably off about the half-hour mark. I wouldn't be surprised if he changes Scott with probably Brooks at the same time. Because he typically changes his wingers at 60, 65 minutes-ish. 65? Somewhere in between 60 to 70. I'd imagine he'll come off at the same time as at least one of the wingers. But yeah, I just want to see a little bit more combination between Tavernier and Kirkes, because at times at the start of the first half, I thought there was going to be something quite nice developing there, and then it just hasn't quite kept going. But Scott has been a lovely link man in midfield, as has Billing. They've been vital. Yeah, absolutely, David. Oh, Sir Bobby Charlton just passed. Oh, that's terrible news. Another, well, eventually comes to us all, unfortunately. But yeah, that's a sad one to see go. I'll have to have a look. I mean, what is it? City, have you got next? Wolves. Newcastle. We've got Newcastle soon as well, to be fair. If you look at Bournemouth's next fixtures, it's Burnley at home, then City and Newcastle. So, we need to get a result here. I expect to see more. I'm assuming that's pace out wide after about 16 minutes, so that might help with that. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Right, players are back out. Yeah, I would hope so. We certainly should be. But that's where you'd expect us to finally start picking up these points. I don't recognise the face, rather. Does it have that? Never mind. Right. We're back underway. Long ball from Dawson. And the ball goes out for a Bournemouth throw. So I've just started. It's 45-24 on the clock for me. Kirkes takes a long throw. Ball gets kicked long, which Kelly doesn't just about deals with, and then headers it back again. Billing on the ball, loses to Traore. Cunha plays it wide to Aït-Nouri. To Cunha. Cook tries to press him. Brooks on Aït-Nouri. Cunha still out wide. New boy on the ball, plays it through two players, gets it through to Neto. Neto on the ball, pushes forward, still Neto, plays it through to Cunha, goal. What is it with Bournemouth and not starting second halves well? Tommy Doyle, that's the new guy. I've just realised I haven't had the banner up for the second half. Doesn't really matter. I've got to change it anyway. Yeah, not good. No, we don't like half times, do we? That's a little bit too easy for Tommy Doyle to play that through to Neto. Neto plays a nice ball through to Cunha, who absolutely smashes it in. Once the ball gets to Cunha, I don't think there's much we can do about it. But Alex Scott, Kirk, someone needs to get to Neto there. Oh, Neto. I think Neto should save that. I really did. That shot from just in front of that shot square on to the goal. I think Neto should save that. He goes at it with one arm. If he goes at it with two, he saves it. I really do. I really do think he should. I think he should save that. It's not right in the corner at all. That's frustrating because I think you've got to look at Tommy Doyle has no one pressing him, which is fine. He's in his own half. But Alex Scott is on no one. Tavernier is on no one. Kirkes isn't stuck to Neto where he probably should be. Neto runs through the midfield far too easily. Kelly doesn't get close to him, but it's not Kelly's job at that. Well, it's Kelly gets towards Kelly's job at that point. Nice ball from Neto into Cunha, who smashes it. But I think there's about 5 players plus the goalkeeper that can stop that goal. So it's very frustrating that. for us to concede within 2 minutes of the restart. Shot from Cunha straight at the goalkeeper. Ah, so much positivity from the first half, and then it's just gone. I don't know how the ball stayed in play there, but and look there at Kirkes being so far up the pitch. Oh God! Now you've got the Wolves fans doing the tequila chant for Cunha. Doesn't work. Tequila has 3 syllables. Cunha has two. It doesn't work. It's a terrible chant. I'm sorry, I'm being picky about it. It's just that I heard that so much for Saliba. That Saliba chant was played so flipping often when we lost to Arsenal last season that it was, and it happened again this season when we lost to them again. And just, I hate that chant. Um, there's such a lack of originality within song with fans writing songs with songs making song lyrics for players. Oh, that's got to be a foul. Surely that's a second yellow for Kilman. What? Yeah, I don't. So what if he had a hold of his shirt? He was getting pulled back the other way by. Oh my God, that's a ridiculous decision. Honestly, thought Kilman was on a second. How was going to have his second yellow there, and it went the other way. Wing, yeah. So just want to. So we need to start the second half fast. Only positive is a predictive 2-1 for yeah, yeah. Slang being, let's hope at least that comes true. Very lucky there, Alocade. I don't know. I don't know what the refs doing there. That's I should have been a second yellow to Kilman. The connection's going. Okay, comes back. Another foul given away. We've got to stop these fouls. A lot of aggression, which I like to see, but it needs to be controlled. You can't just storm through the back of every player you come near to. 51 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock for me. And 1-1. Oh, dear. 55 yards out on the right-hand side. Wolves are going to take a long ball into the box. Or not. And Bournemouth Cook intercepts but loses it immediately. Ends up with player on the right-hand side crossing it in. Goes over everyone to Totti, who heads it back. And now Dawson has the ball. He tries to flick it over Aarons, which he does. And now Totti on the ball looking to cross it in. Oh, my connection is just not stable at the moment. I think that deflected off Aarons for a corner. My connection is just all jittery at the moment. That's not good. Ball into the box. Lovely punch from Neto in that instance. Tavernier wins the header to clear it further after a bounce. And Huang on the ball on the left-hand side. Great pressing again from Cook, but then he just hacks through him. Oh, Lewis. This is going to be interesting. Lewis Cook motions his head towards Huang after Huang squares up to him after a bad tackle. Cook may be off here. If there is any contact, he'll be off. And it's a red card. For someone with so much experience, that is mind-numbingly stupid. From a player that's got so much experience and is normally so level-headed. He takes Hwang down. It's not a good tackle. It's a yellow card. And then Hwang. Yeah, it's red. It's not even a debate. Like what are you doing, Lewis? What the fuck are you doing? No, sorry with the swear. Sorry with the swear. But like, how many people in this chat talked about keeping our emotions in check as well? How many? Like quite a few of you talked about keeping your emotions in check, and it's just so stupid from him. So stupid. He's the idiot that hacks down Huang. Huang gets well, he absolutely whacks him down, which is a yellow on its own. Huang squares up to him. All you do is turn around and just let him go on because Cook is already due a yellow card because it's a terrible tackle. Huang needs to get a yellow card for squaring up to him because you don't do that. But then he just hacks him down. Like, oh, that'll be probably Rothwell coming on for maybe Billing. No, sorry, not Billing. Maybe Brooks. Now, or Ryan Christie's coming on. Well, it's now Bournemouth now have to play a Gary O'Neill style game. Bournemouth have to keep their heads and play a Gary O'Neill game now. They have to keep their heads. Alex Scott with the foul towards the edge of the area. Everyone's getting a bit too pumped up now. But yeah, he fouls Ignori. Yeah, unforgivable for any player, but for an experienced player, it's unfathomable. I totally agree. It's ridiculous, and yeah, I think fans can be so pleased with the first half, really pleased with the first half, but to do that, like that's not on Iraola. That is one player who we all trust with a moment of madness. Ball in, hooked up, headed out. And that's him out for 3 games. That's violent conduct. He's out for 3 games. Christian Rothwell on with Alex Scott coming off. And David Brooks. I said David Brooks probably be coming off. I absolutely called this, didn't I? I said Brooks and Scott would both come off at the same time. I called it. I called it bang on. I didn't expect it to be because of a red card, but I called it. So how are we going to set up now? I mean, it's going to essentially be a 4-4-1. It'll be It'll be Rothwell and Billing as the central partnership, with Christie on the right, Tavernier on the left, and Solanke as the sole hard-working striker. This is nerve shredding now. So much positivity from the first half, and it's just gone. I would call that massive positive. Cook is like the only player that we've got that probably does that number 6 role as effectively without having a pure number 6, because he's going to have to play Rothwell there, and Rothwell's not as good at it. He's not defensively, not as I don't think he's as strong defensively as Cook. Nice bit of defending there from Kelly, and we get a goal kick. Um, they all do it, David. They all do it. If he doesn't go down, well, to be fair, the VAR would have picked up on it anyway. But if he doesn't go down, the ref doesn't give a red straight away because I don't think he noticed. I'm not entirely sure whether he notices the nut if the headbutt if uh might not have necessarily given the red straight away. But it's just it's so brain dead. Long ball up, Kelly doesn't control, falls to Cunha, and now he's played it through to Huang, who's ticking on Zabani, plays it back to Nori, well blocked by Aarons. I mean, I've not been paying attention to the fans, but it does seem as though like they're proper getting behind the team now. They have to because you can only take this as a thing to bolster your support and really roar on your team to keep a point because that's all you're aiming for now is take a point. Lovely catch from Neto. Lovely catch from Neto from that corner. Not a good corner. Great take. Neto with a long ball, trying to find Solanke, who he finds. Great take from Solanke, and he gets a throw in. Does well there. Gets it off Tommy Doyle. We've still got a chance to get the win. It's not impossible. You can definitely still get a win here. But you got to score first, and you got to stop them from scoring. Aarons with a 1-2 from Billing with Billing from the throw. Rothwell on the ball, and this is the thing. He turns backwards. Kirkes with attempting a 1-2 with Tavernier. He can't keep the ball in. It's not a very good pass from Tavernier. Love the positivity, David. I mean, haven't had a penalty for over 550 days, but hey, could always get one. Complete. Who's that? Doherty? Yeah, Doherty completely messes that up, but Rothwell on the ball, pushing forward. Just 2 touches and he takes the ball straight out for a throw. Oh, that's a lovely stat there for positivity for Bournemouth. Wolves have won 4 of their last 30 away games. Not a very good away record. But if they've ever got a chance to get a 5th in that time, it's today when you're up against 10 men. Bournemouth aren't a brilliant team defensively when they've got 11 men on the pitch. Wolves fan calling for a handball there. Like, I appreciate the shout, but like, no. Good luck with that. Another long ball. So a lot of lofted long balls in behind the Bournemouth defence. I'm seeing, which to be fair, they've done all game, but it's still happening now, which you wouldn't expect. Rothwell pushes out finally to approach Traore. Christie trying to do his job. Solanke very deep. Dawson's like 10 yards inside our half. Pedro Neto on the ball, looking for the 1-2. He gets it, but a really good tackle from Kirkes. But Rothwell can't get the loose ball. And then our Neto picks the ball up. Like, no, Neto, hold on to it, you idiot. Thank you. Slow it down. You're the captain. Use your brain. Neto's looking for a long ball immediately after winning the ball back. No, you're a man down. Allow your team to take a breather. You're going to be running the rest of this game without the ball. When you have it in your hands, just stop for like 10 seconds. You've got the opportunity to do that. Thankfully, he does, but that's just because he doesn't see the pass. Zavani tries a pass to Solanke and it's poor. We cannot be giving away balls easily like that at the moment. We have to keep hold of the ball as much as possible to allow our defenders and midfielders to take as many breathers as possible. The roles have reversed now, though. Wolves have all the ball, and they will continue to have all the ball. It's about, can Bournemouth sit deep and defend strong and counter quickly? We haven't shown very often this season that we can counter with any kind of real effervescence. But another corner for Wolves. Wolves, 7th corner, 8th corner. We've had quite a few. We've had one. Oy, oy, oy. Ball's played short. And short again. Doyle plays it back out to Neto, I think. Then Doyle plays it in for a different angle. Kilman tries to get on it, but he doesn't. It's headed well by Kelly for a corner. Yeah, nice little header from Kelly. Eighth corner. Oh, Neto tries to punch. Doesn't get there. And goes down. No, it's no foul. Neto runs into his own player, Christie, and then just goes down flat like he's been punched. Don't want Neto to be getting a yellow card. Takes a second, tells everyone to push forward, and hoofs it long. Solanke can't keep hold of the ball there. He's finding it very tough going up against Kilman and Dawson. Here's the thing I was talking about again. At this point, if we're going to keep playing it long and Solanke is going to be the man that tries to receive it, you need to have other players get close to him so that they receive loose balls. Really nice work from Pedro Neto. Gets it out to Doherty, who crosses the ball in, looking for Cunha, and he heads it miles wide. Another great opportunity. Really good play. Yeah, fair enough on the suggestion. I'm not a brandy drinker myself, but maybe I should have picked some up. Get it in the box. We're overdue a PK. Yeah. Still playing very deep, obviously. 60, just about to hit 67 minutes on the clock. So still got almost half an hour of this. Pedro Neto on the ball on the right-hand side. Back heels it to Kilman. And that's a poor ball in. Billing whacks it, and it goes out of play on the right-hand side. Not much going on at the moment. Wolves just passing it around the back, waiting for the opportunity to split through Bournemouth's defence. Tavernier doing his work to keep an eye on Doherty as he is pushing up with a lot more abandon at the moment. Traore pushing forward through the middle, gets past Solanke. Christie pressuring him. Cunha to Nuri to Traore. Totti, Dawson, Doyle, Kilman, Doherty. And playing it just around the back, then playing out wide. Kilman puts the ball in and massively overhit it. It's almost a shot on target. Well, it's a cross that ends up being a shot on target. Oh, Neto a little bit lax there. Almost gets caught out by Cunha. We win the throw in off Nuri from Aaron's attempt at putting the ball up the pitch. We can't be passing it around too much at the moment. Just every time you try and pass it around the back, you're giving your opposition opportunities to intercept you. The players need to be, the midfielders in particular, need to keep moving. Solanke wins a throw in, which is good. Christie looks a bit open, but he's not going to get that throw. So Aaron's plays it to Solanke again, who loses out to. He loses out to Dawson there. Aaron's bombs forward. He looks like he's going to pick up the loose ball and then just stops. Kirk is driving forward, looking for the pass inside to Christie, who he finds. Christie then goes to Tavernier. Tavernier runs inside, looking for the right opportunity. Gives it to Billing. Billing wide, almost shoots. Pass it to Christie. Christie goes around his man. Still Christie. Takes a shot with the right foot, and it's saved comfortably. Not the best. You don't really want Christie on his right foot there, but love to see the productivity. Thank you everyone joining. 71 viewers now, so clearly a lot of Wolves fans are now joined in, having seen that we're doing that. They've got a decent chance of winning. Or obviously, there's a lot of Bournemouth fans in here. Thank you very much. Do hit the like if you like button down there if you like this. I'm not adding a lot at the moment because it's tense. I'm finding it difficult to find the positives. But to be fair, we're doing relatively well. I just want to see balls pass forward a bit more. We just tried to pass it around the back a bit too much and messed it up. Now with Neto passing it back to Cunha, Rothwell pressuring him high, Doherty on the overlap, plays it in. Neto can't head it. Solanke ends up with the ball, does really well, gets past Doyle. He's completely on his own. He's got 6 men in front of him. He's trying to get past and he can't quite do it. But Christie's pressuring and he can't get. George, what was Cook playing at? It's fair enough if you prefer Rothwell. I mean, I think Cook's better at the DM role, but yeah, it's bonkers, and he'll be out for 3 games. So you can have Rothwell for the next 3 games from the start. Wolves obviously having a lot of the ball at the moment. Very few opportunities for Bournemouth to counter attack, and when we do, we're not getting players forward quickly enough. Christie's the only one with the energy to really bomb forward to support Solanke at the moment. But Dawson with the ball, 40 yards out, under no pressure. Neto, Doherty's and Neto. Neto back to Doyle via Kilman. Still Kilman. Lovely ball through to Cunha. Billing can't intercept. Kelly challenges nicely. Make sure he gets the block and it's a corner. 72 minutes on the clock now, where I am. Still 1-1. Wolves with their 9th corner of the game, I want to say. Neto with the in-swinger from the right-hand side. I just got what you mean now. No nails, nail biting, yeah. Ball in, terrible corner. Solanke at the front post at least pushes it out, but it goes straight back to Neto, to Doyle with the ball, who's going to put it into the box, to the back post. Zabani headers it and is trying to prevent it going from a corner, which he manages to do just about. Yes, the ball's almost gone out for a throw, but not quite. But Aarons chases after it. He almost is able to keep it in, but not quite. Sorry, he's almost able to keep hold of the ball, but he doesn't. Ends up going to Totti, back to Cherries. And Aarons is jogging back to the right back position, just pointing to Christie to tell him to make sure he takes up that role. Long ball, Nuri can just about keep it in. That's a little bit dangerous from Christie there. Ain't Nori bombing on into the middle. He's looking for the pass. He can't find it. Billing slides in. Great tackle from Billing. Lovely slide tackle. And then Tavernier gets past two players and Solanke tries to get in, but he can't. Traore slides in and wins the ball very well. Kilman pushes forward, then gives it off to Neto up against Kirkes, who is just about stopping him from getting forward. And then it goes back to Doyle. That was a very, very close to Wolves creating a good opportunity, but a fantastic slide tackle from Billing, who's done his defensive work all game brilliantly, as per usual. Bournemouth have just got to keep their shape. Kilman to Cunha, who's in acres of space, who shoots, and oh boy. Cunha ends up on the D with 2 seconds of space to take a touch and shoot. Neto does not keep hold of it, which he should. And then Huang comes onto it, who's onside and could have taken a touch probably, but he just smashes at it with his left foot and it goes flying over. Here's an interesting one. Dango Watara coming on, I'd imagine for Tavernier, which he does. This is the time to bring on Watara because there's no pressure on him now. There's no pressure on him. You just need to make sure you keep an eye on your man, which if he's playing on the left will be Doherty, and make sure you help out. And make sure you help out Kirkes with Neto if you have to. Just make sure you're switched on defensively. But when we get the ball and fly forward, there's no one that's going to do better for us in order to really get us up the pitch and just bomb past the defender. This is exactly where the opportunity Watara needs to take if he wants to keep starting again. If he wants to keep starting, just you've got 15 minutes. Don't switch off defensively and work really hard both ends of the pitch. Solanke on the ball. We've actually pushed into the opposition half now. Kirk is on it. Gives it to Watara on the left-hand side. Looking for options. He plays the ball into good opportunity there. Tries to put the ball into Christie, who's the only one near the 6-yard box. But Jose Sá comes out to get it quite nicely. There's a good first contribution from Watara, but I think he plays this ball just a little bit too early. Actually, no. I think it's just a little bit inaccurate, a bit too close to the keeper. But that would have been a hell of a cross to get a goal for us there. But really nice start from him. That's our only opportunity. Those are the very few opportunities we're going to get. Is when we win the ball, which we did, just about keep hold of it in the middle of the park. You need players to bomb on past Solanke to provide those opportunities, which you have from Christie, Kirkes, and Watara. And we've settled down into the pattern of the game. Wolves with every single player in our half passing it around the defenders. We're waiting for the opportunities to develop. Neto keeps running around. He keeps coming off Kirkes, tries to play the ball inside. He gives it to Cunha, who ref almost blows up for a foul for a handball, but doesn't. Oh, Neto's now on the left-hand side. Since when did Neto go to the left-hand side? Christie does well to get in the way of Neto's attempted cross and puts it out for a corner, but it comes off his toe and it clearly hurt. Wakey, guys, short corner. Neto in the box, takes it short. Well blocked by Rothwell in the end, and the ball goes out of the stadium. But wow, guys, come on, switch on. That was far too easy. Rothwell does well to just run and block that. It's going to be Doyle again. He plays it short to Neto. Rothwell out there. Need another player to support. Ball gets lobbed into the box. Billing flicks it on the corner. Does well there because there was a man coming in the back post. 12 corners now for Wolves. It's gone short again. Players need to get out to deal with it. Played around at the back. Ends up with Dawson on the ball. Neto can't keep it, but it's whacked clear by, I think that was Kelly. Wolves got it back, playing it around under no pressure, just inside our half. Second half possession, 81% for Wolves, 19% for Bournemouth. Not a surprise. Oh, lovely little flick ball in. Doherty coming onto it. He plays the ball in. Well cleared by Zabani to get in the way of Dawson. Traore to Neto to Ait Nouri. Back to Neto to Traore. To Cunha to Doyle. Good pressure from Rothwell. And then Solanke gets given the ball. It's now 1-on-4 with Solanke on it. He needs to just keep hold of this and look for on runners. Watara, where are you? But still Solanke somehow keeps it. He's still going. Oh, no, man. You had two options to find a man. You miss him. He's done so well, Solanke, and then he just can't play the pass that he needs to. Great foul from Billing, and he's not going to get a yellow card from that. Oh, so much good work there from Solanke. He just needed to play the ball in, and he completely fails to find Ouattara and Billing that are both making the same overlapping run. That was such a good chance to make like a decent opportunity for a shot. He's been working so hard. I don't know how he kept the ball. Oh, dear. 79 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. Still 1-1. Thank you, John. I'm getting better at these calls. Who scored the fourth goal, by the way? Just if you let me know. Neto into Hwang. Christie doesn't commit to the tackle and intercept it, so Hwang still has the ball. Plays it to Nuri. Back to Hwang, who's in loads of space. Someone close him down, please. Okay, back to Nuri. Playing it around. They don't keep it. Aarons attempts to whack it clear, but he smashes it at Hwang, and now they still have the ball. Get rid of the freaking thing. Ait Nouri. Nice little interplay. Fires it into the box, shoot, and it goes over from Neto. This is the problem. Aaron's had the chance to whack it out of play or up the pitch. He whacks it at Hwang, and we continue to be under pressure. Really lovely bit of play. Don't know why the Wolves fans are olaying, because it's still 1-1. You olay when you're winning. You don't olay when you're drawing. I think they've not been winning for too long, and they've forgotten how the rules work. But really nice interplay. But yeah, just really poor from Neto in the end. And they fire it over. That would have been a great goal. That would have been a really good goal, but Neto can only blame himself that he didn't finish that. It's really awkward saying Neto, because when we've got a Neto in goal and they've got a Neto attacking. So when Neto has the ball, it's difficult to tell you whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I should just say Pedro Neto every time it's the Wolves Neto. Iraola looks pissed off still. Well, Sasa Kaladzic is coming on the pitch. Alocate, you've got your wish for Cunha. 1 goal scorer off, and I'm sure Wolves will be hoping that another one has come on the pitch. Bournemouth have the ball in a throw-in in just outside the Wolves box. Oh, Callum. Nice stuff. Thanks, John. Lloyd Kelly with the lining up a long throw. We haven't seen this for a while. We haven't seen a Lloyd Kelly long throw for ages. And doesn't really make anything of it. Kirkes with the ball back in the box. Solanke doesn't keep it under control. And Neto on the ball needs to whack it clear, which he does. Flicked on. Oh, Bournemouth still almost have it. Kirkes, why are you in the opposition half that far up the pitch? God, you putting this up, Alec? I thought Pedro was due to score. Yeah, yellow card for Traore. Well, to be fair, Neto might still score, but Traore with a yellow card. And Senesi coming on. And Kiefer Moore coming on the pitch. I think ideally he'd want to make that change now because we've got a free kick. just inside our own, just inside the Wolves' half that we're obviously going to be chucking in there. I'd imagine more will be coming on for Solanke because I think Solanke's shattered. We're taking our time with this kick. Well, that's driven low and hard, and it's not a very good not very good free kick. Comes back to Christie. Rothwell with a poor ball gives it immediately away to Wolves. And you cannot be doing that, particularly from that position. Thankfully, Neto has taken our goalkeeper Neto took a very high position, was able to clear it long, but awful free kick from Rothwell, and then he just whacks it straight to a Wolves player when he gets the ball the second time. You can't be doing that. Oh, so substitutions are being made. By the time the ball's thrown back in again, there'll be 6 minutes of normal time remaining, and I imagine there will be at least 4 or 5 minutes of added time. I don't think there's been that much worth it, but there's been 1 or 2 players going down. There was the red card. There was the goal. Milos Kerkez coming off. Very good decision. Very good decision from Iraola. He's a liability this late in the game. Get him off. Put Kelly at left back. Put Senesi at centre back. Or Senesi at left back. Either way, you now have more reliable defensive players in there, and Solanke is off for Kiefer Moore. Just got to have someone to hold the ball up at the top now, which Solanke has done really well, but he will be shattered at this point, I'm sure. Oh, God. If I had any nails, I'd be chewing them off right now. Ain't Nuri on the ball. Looking to cross it. Well intercepted by Billing. Great touch by Christie. Stops it from going back to a Wolves player. He puts it up to Kiefer Moore. He holds onto it. Plays it to Aaron. He cannot keep hold of the ball. Don't put your hand up. Get moving, mate. Kelly pushing up to Doherty for some reason. Yeah, Kelly is at left back as well, by the way. Everyone's got to keep working hard here. Kiefer Moore going to press Dawson. Plays it wide to Ain't Nuri. Neto playing on the left now as well. Playing more of a front man, I think. Dawson on the edge of the box. Goes for the shot. Easy for Pedro Neto. Looking for Ouattara for a quick throw. No. Goes to Billing. Nice throw to Billing. He's got to find the pass, which he just about does to Moore, but he can't keep hold of it. He needs to keep hold of that ball. He cannot be giving that away so easily. Billing's getting very, very tired as well. Now Ouattara's on the ball. He's got an opportunity to run with it. Just keep going, man. Just push it and go. Yes, Ouattara. Keep going, man. Keep going. Yes, well done. Yes. Great work. Now Rothwell on the ball. He's still going. Rothwell shoots. Well blocked. Billing on the ball. Billing shoots. Saved by Sarr. That's what we love. That's what we always loved from Ouattara last season. That hard work, tenaciousness, strength, and ability. And Rothwell quite rightly takes the shot there. I don't blame him at all. Billing shooting from there is a bit of an ask. He should have played that wide to Aarons. He's got it in him, and it was a good shot, but nice to see so many in here. 96 of you watching. Thank you very much for joining. Not a lot of comments coming in, so I'd imagine most of you are glued to the TV, to however you're watching the game, or maybe just hoping that I give you details. But please do keep typing your thoughts. Neto plays a very risky ball to Billing, who loses it really quickly. Very stupid, very stupid. Hwang plays it into Kaladzic, and it's a goal. No! Neto, what the bloody hell are you doing? I've lost one of the phone bits on my. Don't know where it's gone. I'll have to find it later. Neto's. That's Neto done for me in the in a that's Neto done in the goal for now for me, because that is suicidal. It's just suicidal. It's like that is whatever plan you've got, whatever success there's been, how well Bournemouth have done for a lot of this. Neto's just given it to them. He's just given it. That's all on Neto, because Billing doesn't want that ball. Billing never wanted that ball. Billing never should have been given that ball. But like, you've got to drop him. After that, you have to drop him. Sorry, I need to change the banner. That's it. That's Neto done. And so there's no, you cannot do that. It's like he's got a yellow card. What's he got a yellow card for? He's the flipping idiot that conceded the goal for us. It's a stat I was aware of, but it's just been reminded on the commentary. Every time we've scored first this season, we've lost. Every time we have scored first this season, we've lost. Pedro on the edge of the box. Shot from Sarabia goes wide. And now what's Aaron's getting involved with? I just, I'm 6 minutes of extra time has just been confirmed. Like what is Aaron's doing there? He's just pushed his head towards Sarabia's. Sarabia's got himself a yellow card for clipping Aaron's there. You cannot. Neto cannot play. Neto cannot start the next game after that. He can't. You just can't. He is the captain. He is an experienced professional that has played for Barcelona, Juventus, Sevilla, and Fiorentina. I think are the four clubs that he was at before this. You are less than you are what, like 3 minutes before added time is going to kick in. Maybe 3 minutes. And then you've got to go through added time. But regardless, you're in a 1-1 position. You're a man down. You take every second that you can use on a goal kick, because I don't care how much the referee adds on time. You will make up for something there. You might only be a couple of seconds. Watara's on the ball now. We're pushing up. Kelly's on the left-hand side. He's about to put the ball in the box. Lovely ball in where he gets a deflection. We've got 4 minutes to get a goal back. And nick a draw. But my word, if I was Iraola, I don't know what I would say in the post match. Oh, long ball in, deflected wide, goes for a corner. Only our third of the match. I don't know what I'm saying is Iraola, because you've got one of your most experienced professionals in Cook getting a red card. Stupid. Then you've got your goalkeeper, your captain, playing what he did there and giving away an opportunity. Suicidal. Ball comes in the box. Almost Neto. Neto had gone up for the corner, by the way. Almost him getting on the end of it. Aarons plays it back to Christie. Christie with the ball in the box. It's over. No, it's not far enough for Moore, and it's over Kelly. Zabani on the ball. Plays it to Rothwell. Rothwell on the ball. Kelly now plays it into Ouattara, who plays it to Billing, but gets caught by Traore, but the ball gets whacked clear by Traore. Someone went over really easy there for Wolves. Referee didn't fall for it. Rothwell on the ball. Tries to play the ball forward. It gets its way to Ouattara, who tries to whack it in, but he can't. Senesi pressing. Lovely header forward from someone. Ouattara should be keeping hold of the ball there, but doesn't. And the Wolves pull the ball out there. Didn't go out. And that's Senesi. Senesi with a foul on Kalazic. What I can at least say, I'll talk about it briefly in the review. I'm not going to be staying on very long to review very much because I don't want to sit and talk about this very much. This is not down to the manager. The manager put out the right lineup. He had a lot going for him. Admittedly, the first goal, you can say that clearly there's something about how Iraola sets teams up after half time. The fact that it's happened here and it happened against Brighton that we conceded immediately. But for the most part, this is entirely at the fault of Lewis Cook and Pedro and Neto. Essentially, like you'd be able to put some blame on certain players in the first for the first goal conceded, and then there's an element of looking at the second goal, whether maybe Billing could do better, but the fact that Billing should never receive the ball is nothing against him. But look at so many players that really I felt were really good in the first half. We concede early, which is a shame, but you can work with it. And then what is he doing there? Why are we playing the ball around the back? There's 30 seconds left in the game, and we're passing the ball around the back. You could keep him more up top with 4 players around him. Play the ball forward. What the flipping heck are we doing passing it around the back for? Then he heads it on to Christie. Christie has the ball now coming forward, and it's a really good tackle from Traore, and that's full time. Full time, AFC Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0. How on earth did we lose that game? I just don't. I just can't sometimes. I just can't. Don't I disagree with that? Utterly disagree with that. Because we're definitely good enough. We didn't lose this game because we're not good enough. We lost this game because 2 players were flipping stupid in 2 specific incidents. That's the only reason we lost this game. Because Lewis Cook lost his head for no reason. And 2, because Neto is a fucking idiot. That's the only reason we lost this game. How can you possibly blame Iraola over and above the idiots that cost us in that game? Like, I understand that you can be frustrated that we conceded the first goal of Wolves very quickly after half time. You can lay some blame at Iraola for that because there seems to be a pattern there. But at the same time, with 2 players, 2 very experienced professionals, both over the age of 26, which means you are well and truly professional in this game. There's no learning to come. You have hit your peak or beyond. Make stupid calls like that. That's not down to the manager. There's nothing the manager can do about that. Everton, Luton, Burnley, all down presently. Everton aren't in the bottom. Everton, Luton, Burnley, all down presently. I'm not, and I don't get your point, John, because we're not in the bottom, because they're not in the bottom three. Here's the bottom of the table at the moment. I don't know why it's saying 0-0 there. That must be a full time. Sort of. There we go. There's the bottom of the table. Wolves win puts them up to 12th with 11 points and their third win of the season. Bournemouth remain on 0 points. 0 wins, sorry, with 3 points. Sheffield Wednesday below us. Burnley thankfully lost 3-0 away to Brentford, which we didn't. And we play Burnley next. So we have, we have our opportunities next. We play Burnley. Play Burnley at home next. My God, that is massive. I think you're being way too harsh there, Oniraiola. I think you're being way too harsh there, Bradley. I really. You mean they lost today, I'm assuming, John? So, yeah, Brentford with a win takes them... Oh, that is not an up-to-date table. Is it? Might be. They haven't updated the little bit at the end here, because Brentford literally just won. Forest and Luton are drawing 2-2. Shame. I had Turner in goal. I conceded 2 goals. Never mind. So that's Forest on to 10 points. Everton still on 7. Luton on 5 with another draw. Burnley on 4 and us on 3. The good news is 1 win, and that'll take us outside of the relegation zone and really get us started. But Ed with a good point. The team is not disciplined. That falls partially on the manager. But here's the easy, and I've settled into this as well. It's very easy just to say it's not working. That's just not true. It's just not. I understand your opinion on it, but that's not true. It is working. It's just not working as well as it should do, and it's not working as well as it could be. But at the same time, you give any manager no Lerma, no Adams as your number 6. The vital player that often holds your midfield together isn't there. We've now lost Cook. So we're not going to be without anyone that's even half specialised towards a DM for the next 3 games. That just affects us even more. Other aspects of the team you can say aren't good enough. Certainly the defence generally hasn't been for long periods, but it's there's definitely an issue with mentality and keeping your head after that, because for Cook to do that is just mind-boggling. For Neto to make the decision he made, and it's not even a hard decision. You have to go against the natural instincts of a goalkeeper to be as stupid as Neto was. Every goalkeeper worth his salt. How often do you see a goalkeeper? There is maybe 10 minutes left in a game. Not even that. The last 5, because there was less than 5 minutes of normal time to go. The goalkeeper takes 20 seconds to take a goal kick. We've all seen it. Everyone knows the goalkeeper takes as long as possible to take his next goal kick, because it just wears down that clock just a little bit longer. The refs are adding on a lot of added time at the moment, but I don't care what you say, they're not going to get every second of it. So you take 20 seconds to take the goal kick, they're adding on 10 or 15. What does Neto do? Puts the ball down, and while players are still in his own box, he takes that ball through a couple of Wolves players to hit it to Billing, who's surrounded by 3 Wolves players immediately. It is so bad. Some question here, was it from Ed? Do you start Neto next week? Hell no. There's no excuse for that. That is, if you do not get dropped for that, I don't know what's going on. I would have. I defend Neto starting this game because I think there are aspects of his game that are still good enough, and he's clearly done decent enough for us in a season and a half, mostly. But to do that, no, I would never start him after that. Radu gets like 3 or 4 matches at least before I even consider bringing Neto back in after that. Like, he has cost us a point there. There's no two ways about it. Neto cost us the point there on top of Lewis Cook. But we were already 1-1 at the point that Lewis Cook got sent off. So he's messed up big time. But no, Neto absolutely cost us there. And I cannot see Neto start there. Now, there is if you look at the first half, Bournemouth were definitely the better team. Were comfortably the better team for most of it. Wolves had their moments. There were times we allowed Neto too much space. He rattled the bar with a great shot. That was almost an amazing goal. They had their points in the game. But Bournemouth were the better team in the first half. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not allow the second half to cloud our thoughts of the fact that we were so much better in that first half than we have been for the last few games. It then falls on the stupidity of the players that make the stupid decisions they make. Admittedly, their goal to make it 1-1, a lot that could have been done differently. And we can talk about Iraiola's ideas or whatever Iraiola's doing to our team at halftime that means they don't get going quickly enough in the second half. That's an issue, but it's not the main one from today. The main one is Cook and Neto. Those are the talking points from today, and our first half is the other third talking point, which is going to be lost. Our first half is going to be lost in the anger of Bournemouth fans here. But we must remember that things were better. Things got better here. Right, I'm just gonna have a quick look at the other matches that happened today, and then I'm gonna cut because I can't keep sitting in front of camera rambling like this. However many people would be interested in hearing it, I'm not doing any lengthy review on this. I don't have the energy, I don't have the voice, and I don't have the desire. To lose that game is just... Rest of the games that happened. Bright side, there was point picked up on by a couple of you. I think it was John in particular mentioned that at least you've got Everton losing, Burnley losing, Forest only got a point, and I mean Crystal Palace lost, I guess. Sheffield United play Man United later, so there's that as well. Flipping heck. So Liverpool beat Everton, Brentford beat Burnley. 3-0 in the end. Who scored? Brian Wember and Godos. That is not a name I've heard from them in a while. I didn't realize he was still there. Obviously, that game. There were 4 red cards today in the first 6 fixtures. Even Man City got a red card. Who got sent off? Akanji. God, I'm glad he's not in my fantasy team anymore. Newcastle beating Crystal Palace 4-0. Good result there. Managed to call that one bang on. And man, I wish I'd put some money on that because that would have cheered me up. No end. Forest 2, Luton 2. One of the goal scorers there. Chris Wood twice. Flipping heck. Forest went 2-0 up and Luton managed to claw that back to 2-2. Well played, Luton. Sorry, I haven't pulled up a lot of the comments. I've just been rambling. I'm just gonna have a look and see what people are saying before we go. Recall Travers. Yeah, no. We've got a second choice keeper. Let's just play him. Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you. I really can't. Yeah, I've already looked at that one before. Yeah, have to be Burnley. After that in particular, Iraola is not in more trouble from the board after that. But the players, they need to. Some of those, Cook won't play for 3 games, and Neto shouldn't play for the rest of the year. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Allocated. Thank you from a neutral looking on and saying, guys, Bournemouth were decent in that game. It was just a couple of idiots. The only connection to AI is that ultimately is the manager's responsibility to minimum level professional standards. I mean, there is a fair point in that, David. But at the same time, when has Lewis Cook ever done that before? Like, if Lewis Cook had a reputation for that, you could say that the manager isn't doing enough to prevent the player from doing that. But when Lewis Cook does that for the first time in ever, and like, he's not a kid anymore. He's 27, 28. Lewis Cook is 26, whatever. He's past 25. He's in his prime now. He's played professionally for 8 years. He shouldn't be making that mistake. I saw it live. It's a Stonewall red. It's not Bradley. I'm assuming he should still take. Okay, yeah. I mean, it backs up David's point. It wasn't great at the start of the second half, but I thought it was pretty good for the first half. And then after the red card, you've really got to. After the red card, I think Iraola made the right changes. I mean, heck, there were changes I called for. I thought bringing on Ouattara with 15 minutes to go was a perfect call. And heck, bringing on Moore at the end was great as well. He even took off Kirkes. This was another really good call by Iraola. He took off Kirkes with 10 minutes to go. And he put on Lloyd Kelly at left back and he put on Senesi at centre back with Kelly at left back. Absolutely the right call, which maybe a lot of fans wouldn't have thought about. But it was absolutely the right call. I thought every single one of Iraola's substitutions nailed it. Just a shame about the things he couldn't control. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Twitter meltdown. But yeah, Neto should be dropped. That's fair enough. But I would also say that here's the thing. That was an unjust red card against McAllister. That galvanized the team. Because they felt there was an injustice against the ref, and they had the freedom of being a man up whilst also being a squad of such good quality that they were just able to be so much more expressive and free after that red card. While admittedly Bournemouth then have the pressure of feeling like it's on us to be more aggressive and do more, and it just completely messed with the players, which is a mentality issue thing again, which people have talked about. So there is definitely something in that, which the more I'm coming around to it more and more, there is a mentality issue in this team at the moment, which Iraola is not fixing. So I will acquiesce to a lot of the opinion on here. Whereas for the Bournemouth red card, we've just conceded. It's 1-1. And you've lost a player that you know has just messed up. There's no like, ref, what are you doing? It's Lewis. The hell was that? And you get more angry. The mentality started going already, and that's how Lewis Cook gets sent off. He's already angry. He's sort of hyped up, and he doesn't need to be. Yeah, that was building on my point before. Going to take time. Not having an assistant is just bonkers. He still doesn't know it. There's just got to be some patience. Thanks for joining us, Allocate. Wing, nothing you really can do on the coaching field. Good. Yeah, absolutely agree. Positives. Agreed. Some positives. Is that your 3 best of the game? I'm assuming. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, scoring goals has been an issue. The fact that it's all on Solanke at the moment is thank you, Allocate. I'm glad you enjoyed keeping an eye on them, joining us for the watch along, and do keep an eye on us going forward. And we'll see you at your place. Hopefully, we'll be able to return the favor. Possibly. I mentioned this before the game, Steve. I don't know whether you saw my pre-match talk. The board are not going to sack him this soon. I can't see it happening. If you're going to make a principled decision by getting rid of O'Neill when he's done a good job, and as much as people like to sort of clown on O'Neill, yeah, he was fine. It's like O'Neill was a success. Above all other things, no matter what you think about his play style, the players that he got to do, whatever job they were doing, O'Neill was a success. To move on from a successful manager who is now doing a decent job at Wolves and to bring in someone based on principles and on style of play, you cannot throw that out at this stage with the fixtures we've played and the players we've had injured. You can't. You just can't, because if he sacks him before the turn of the year, it shows you don't have a clue what you're doing. And while he may not care what other people think so much, you can't turn back on your principled approach this early. You can't. So I don't think he's got a game to save his job. But my God, is it important we win this game. This next game. My God, is it important we beat Burnley. And it's going to be harder. Without Cook, it's going to be harder. It just is. I wouldn't have. I didn't notice that myself. Well, I mean, if everyone can do the fundamentals, they'd all be getting in the Premier League every season. Highwing, last few comments. Thanks, John, for your commentary and analysis. You're spot on, and I think we have to stick with Andoni, and I believe we will have a much better days we had since the season started. Yeah, and Parkmoney, appreciate your stoicism, John. You make thank you very much. Right, we're gonna sign off here. It's been 2 hours 46 that I've been, 2 hours 45, I guess, that I've been on screen ish, and I don't want to keep nattering away about that game. I don't think any of you want to hear that either. And a lot of you probably just want to go and do something else to take your mind off it, because by golly, do I want to do the same. Ed, I agree that current management won't sack him. Whether the owner would sack management, that's the question. You don't know fairly well enough. True. Very true. Absolutely correct. It was. Final score, AFC Bournemouth 1, Wolves 2. The positivity of the first half was completely ruined by the poor decisions made by two of our most experienced players in the second half. And that changes a lot about the attitude of the fan base in 45 minutes. And while I don't think it does, it could change a bit about the owner as well. I'm going to reinforce, I absolutely think we should stick with Iraola. And I think that given that Tyler Adams is going to be out till February, it's imperative we sign a number 6. And I personally think we should look at getting in. We should be doing our best to get Calvin Phillips in on loan for 6 months. I think that'll be a brilliant signing. It only needs to be a loan signing just to get us over the line. But we need something. We've got Alex Scott back. Alex Scott was a real positive. Billing playing in the 10 was a real positive. Brooks wasn't as great as I would have hoped, but he only got 60 minutes. Tavernier, I thought, really did really well, and I think there were other good aspects of the game. But it's all about Saturday again when we play Burnley at home. It was important that we got something from this game. I feel we got 45 minutes of performance, but we need more. And we need the players to look themselves in the mirror, particularly the ones that messed up. Admittedly, the ones that messed up. Cook won't play for 3 weeks for 3 games. Neto shouldn't be playing for the next 3 games. So look themselves in the eye and just go in the mirror and just go, what on earth was I thinking? And never do it again. But that'll be it for this watch along. Thank you so much for everyone joining me. I saw some really big numbers in the second half of that game. We almost hit 100 concurrent viewers, so that was fantastic. Please make sure you do hit the like button down there if you haven't already. It really does help us out. We're still a small channel. Every like, every comment really does help. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to put myself through this against Burnley, but we'll keep you posted if I do a watch along for the Burnley game. And yeah, we'll see. Anyway, fingers crossed we've got something better to look forward to in the next game. But for the time being, I'll leave you to have the rest of your weekend. It's tough, but we've got to keep moving on. Up the Cherries.